is 2017, and in November of that year, the American news network CNN broadcasts footage recorded near Tripoli, Libya.
A man addressing an unseen crowd. Big strong boys for farm work, he says. 400. 700. 800.
The video appears to show African migrants being sold at informal labor auctions. According to CNN, the men had been detained after attempting to reach Europe. The footage shows groups of migrants being presented to potential buyers with prices discussed openly. CNN reported that the prices ranged from 400 to 800 Libyan dinars, equivalent to approximately 200 to 500 US dollars at the time. The network said it verified the footage through multiple sources, including local contacts and humanitarian organizations operating in Libya. Following the broadcast, the reaction was immediate. The United Nations called for urgent discussions.
Reports and video footage showing African migrants in Libya reportedly being sold as slaves. I abhor these appalling acts and call upon all competent authorities to investigate these activities without delay and to bring the perpetrators to justice.
The African Union demanded an investigation. Several governments issued statements condemning what they described as evidence of modern slavery. But to understand how this situation developed, it is necessary to look beyond the footage itself. Libya is located in North Africa between the Mediterranean Sea to the north and the Sahara Desert to the south. For more than a decade, it has been a key transit country for migrants traveling from sub-Saharan Africa towards Europe. According to the International Organization for Migration, hundreds of thousands of migrants pass through Libya each year. Most originate from countries including Nigeria, Eritrea, Somalia, Mali, and Sudan. For many people, Libya is intended to be a temporary stop along the journey. But over time, however, it has become a place where migrants are routinely detained, abused, and exploited. The roots of this situation lies in Libya's political collapse. In 2011, a civil war ended the 42-year rule of Muammar Gaddafi. The conflict resulted in the collapse of central authority. Rather than a unified transition, power fragmented among competing armed groups and rival governments. National institutions weakened or ceased to function. As of today, Libya does not have a single government capable of enforcing the rule of law nationwide. In this environment, criminal networks expanded. Human smuggling and human trafficking became major sources of income for militias and armed groups operating across the country. Most migrants reach Libya after crossing the Sahara Desert. They typically travel in overcrowded vehicles, often without adequate food or water. Humanitarian organizations estimate that thousands die during these desert crossings each year. Although the precise numbers are difficult to confirm, those who survive arrive in Libya with limited resources, no legal status, and little protection. This vulnerability makes them particularly susceptible to exploitation. Migrants are frequently detained by smugglers, militias, or armed groups. Some are held in detention centers that are officially registered with Libya's authorities. Others are held in informal facilities that operate entirely outside any legal framework. Conditions inside these centers have been extensively documented by the United Nations and international humanitarian organizations. Detainees report physical abuse, food deprivation, and forced labor. Families are often contacted and asked to pay ransoms in exchange for a detainee's release. After the CNN report in 2017, the international organizations launched emergency responses. The African Union and the United Nations initiated joint investigations into trafficking and slavery in Libya. According to the International Organization for Migration, more than 50,000 migrants were returned between 2017 and 2014. The International Criminal Court also opened investigations into potential crimes against humanity linked to migrant abuse in Libya. Despite these efforts, critics argue that the response had not addressed the underlying system. Trafficking and forced labor in Libya continue to this day. The practices have become less visible, but they have not stopped. Libya remains politically divided. Armed groups continue to control detention facilities and trafficking routes. Legal migration pathways remain extremely limited. As a result, migrants continue to arrive in Libya, and many remain vulnerable to exploitation. The footage broadcast in 2017 brought global attention to the issue, but it did not bring it to an end. Today in Libya, human trafficking and forced labor persist.